Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah, and welcome to Portal to the Paranormal. And you're watching Thriller Podcast. Now, this evening, we have a very special guest. Originates from Mississippi, but now lives in New Hampshire. He is co-founder of It's Haunted Network, an actor, a speaker, founder of Mississippi Paranormal Research Institute, and an paranormal investigator. Let's bring him on, shall we? Let's welcome Mr. David Childers. Hope I've said your name right. Hello. Hi, David.
You called me. I was sharing.
Sorry.
That's cool. It's not a big deal. I'm always slow at that. I sit here and I try to share and I freeze up my thumbs. I'm like, ooh, I'm about to get on.
Oh, we can always share it later.
Share now. I got it.
So the people watching, our viewers, they might ask questions as well. So I'll put them up on the screen. And if you're happy to answer them, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm actually putting it up on the comments and on the Facebook.
Fabulous.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to throw some questions at you, David, if that's all right. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go back to the very beginning then. How did you get involved in the paranormal world? How did it start for you?
Oh, basically, well, I lived in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and Vicksburg is like had one of the biggest battles of the Civil War there, the Battle of Vicksburg. And I lived on my family's property, and it was a part of the Civil War. And I was 13, 12, something like that. And I was watching Crocodile Dundee, and I was like, yeah, I want to go outside. My imagination, I'm going to be Crocodile Dundee. I put snakeskin boots on. I don't know why I had Daisy Dukes on, but I did. I guess that's the only thing I had to wear, but at the time. But I went outside, and it was getting dusk, and I look over at the woodline, and I saw a full body apparition of a Civil War soldier, had a beard and all that. I ran inside, and I told my dad, I was like, Dad, there's somebody out there, It was, no, you're just seeing stuff. And he goes out there, nobody out there. Dude, I know it was a Civil War soldier. I remember, the outfit, and the long beard. It just went on from there. And I've always loved, horror stories and scary stories. And it just started doing research the older I got. And then the television, first it started out on the internet with the ghost hunting stuff. And that's not a knife. Yeah.
That ain't a knife.
Speaking of that, Scott, let me backtrack a little bit. I did make a Bowie knife out of wood, and I had that. So I did have somewhat of a knife. But like I said, it just went on from there. And then the internet thing came out, and seeing the ghost hunters, Ghost Adventures, I believe they came out first. And I was like, you know what? Let me get into this. We were already doing it. But we didn't know how to use equipment, a voice recorder and all that. We were just going out there just to get our experiences, being weekend warriors, going to cemeteries and stuff like that. I think that really kicked off whenever I was 16, 17. And then in the 20 something years old, I started dabbling into equipment, and it just went from there, man. Started 3 teams, and actually 4. Whenever I moved up here, me and my ex had a paranormal couples group, and whenever we just split apart, I was like, I'm not going to start a team. I'm just going to do my own thing, and heck, I've been doing it for years, so I might as well just do it. And then I got a hold of Chris Sanders up here. He's in Maine, great guy. He's been in the field for 15, 16 years. Yeah. Been on multiple television stations as well as me, and we basically have the same style and the outlook on what we wanted to do. So it's like, why start a team when why join a team whenever we could just do our own thing, get together, we're best friends, so we could do our own thing and go separate ways and don't have to worry about any drama, And that's the way it's been. Yeah, that's
the ultimate prize, isn't it? A full-on MFG ghost, just a full-on apparition looking at you, waving. That's when especially when 2 people see it as well. Have you ever had the experience when you all witness something? It's like, shit, we all saw that.
Yep, and it's like, how can I debunk that? Yeah. Nobody else can. How can I? So, even though you try to do it, you can't. You have all these. You got validation right there that there was something there. So it's pretty cool. It definitely is. You always got to have another set of eyes out there too for any kind of validation.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any gifts or a sixth sense or anything when it comes to the paranormal?
Well, I don't really put it out there, but put it this way: I've acquired gifts over the years.
Yeah, you can train yourself, can't you? Or you have a sixth sense. Definitely.
Everyone has it. All of us have it. We just got to open our mind up and just roll with it, man. I mean, and you definitely somebody that's actually knows a lot more about it and has been doing it a lot longer. They can actually sit here and help you out and open yourself up and just bleed into those abilities where your senses become a lot stronger, you know. And yeah.
Definitely. I mean, the paranormal and history go hand in hand. And I've been doing a bit of stalking. I won't lie. I've been all over your Facebook page and looking at, done a bit of YouTubing and everything. And I've looked at your locations and I mean, from being in the UK, some of our viewers probably don't even know these places, but I want to chat to you a bit on them. I've seen that you were at the Bell Cave, was it the Bell Witch Cave in Waverley Hills, Penthurst Asylum, Sleepy Hollows. I really want to talk about that because I've seen the movie, but I didn't even know it was actually a proper place. Madame Cherie's Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a little insight on these places? Oh, and a Pierce Mansion as well.
Oh, SK Pierce, yeah. Black Swan Inn, also amazing location. Well, let's go to Sleepy Hollow since you like Sleepy Hollow. Well,
okay.
We actually, where did we go? It was me and Chris. We went to, I think it was Penthurst. We went to Penthurst, I believe. I don't know. Everything's just like blah. Riding around with him, he travels all the time, so it's just like everything just bleeds into each other and overlaps. Yeah, Jen, you're right. Penthurst is crazy as hell. But Sleepy Hollow, we were on the way back, and Chris looked at me. We were so close to it. He was like, "You want to go to Sleepy Hollow? You want to go to the cemetery?" Sure, let's go. We got 3 more hour drive ahead of us. Let's just swing by there. So we ended up going there and filming the cemetery. The cemetery is so unique. I've never seen a cemetery like it. They actually have a couple of graves in there that were built into the rocks, which was real cool. And actually another reason why we went there, because Chris is holding a Paracon there. It's called Sleepy Hollow Paracon. It's the first ever paranormal convention in Sleepy Hollow. That's coming up October 22nd. Hey, what's going on, Brian? How you doing, brother? Ooh. And that'll be the first one. Sleepy Hollow Paracon. Who wouldn't want to go to a paranormal convention in Sleepy Hollow?
Hell yeah, that would be awesome. We don't have many of them in the UK, unfortunately. You'd think we would be in like the hub of paranormal. There's only 1 or 2. Anyway, so as you were.
But yeah, I mean, that's coming up. Anyway, we swung by there, got some TikTok videos and all that. And let's see what other. Oh, let's go to Penthurst. Penthurst was amazing. I actually went out there with East Coast Paranormal Christina Westervelt. She is also a co-host on our show on It's Haunted Network. It's called It's Haunted Podcast. And she invited us out there to join the team. And I'm glad she did, because that place was amazing. We actually got a disembodied voice.
Wow.
At the end, this is a dead end hallway. I got it on TikTok. You can look up David Childers, I think 3, or David Childers Paranormal Addict. And at the end of the hallway, it's a dead end. Okay, me and Chris were sitting there, and keep in mind, there's 18,000 viewers on my end and probably 30 on his end, sitting here watching this live. Chris says hello twice. The first hello, it's a female, comes back, says hello. You can't really catch it, but we heard it with our ears. But the second time, he says hello, a good 4 seconds, no echo, no nothing. A guy comes back, hello. I mean, it was like, whoa. I mean, we backed up. We were like, oh, hell no. I mean, that's just crazy as hell, because, I mean, you got a disembodied voice. It's like 30 feet away and you can't see. It's right there, you know. And it was definitely interesting. Definitely interesting.
So, Madame Shadi, is it like a... When I was watching your video, she likes to party.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gatsby era, or?
Well, Madame Cherie, she was. I know some of the history, not a lot about it. I just glanced over it because I thought the place was just cool. I just want to go out there and take a look at it, you know. And I like going into places blind anyway. So it won't be like my matrix. And if I did investigate, but yeah, she loved the parties. She loved being the big star of the moment. I mean, it was her house. She lived in a castle, and she would make a dramatic entrance every time she would have a party and all that. It was real cool. And eventually, I don't know what happened. I mean, of course, she probably passed away, and then it ended up going to ruins. And actually, the staircase in the video, it's crumbled, but it's still there, and there's walking trails all around. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool location.
What kind of era is that? Is that 1200? Did you say, or was it a bit? No, 17, aren't you? 17.
It's probably 17, 1800s, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just look up Madame Cherie's forest in New Hampshire, and it'll pull up. It'll give all the story about her.
And what's with the witch caves then?
I've never been to the Bell Witch Cave. That's in Tennessee. But I had a chance to go, just never did make it. And then I moved up to New Hampshire. So, probably not going because it's in Tennessee. But the story behind the curse of the Bell Witch is actually pretty interesting. You definitely check that out. Yeah, the Bell Witch Cave, it's pretty cool. I actually had one of my friends, Angel Lee. She did an episode on it before. I forgot who she filmed with. It was some network. I don't know, but it was a few years ago. But she supposedly got some cool stuff there, So interesting location, very interesting.
Ooh. So you're from New Hampshire now. You're living in New Hampshire now. It sounds a bit British. You've got places there like Manchester, Portsmouth, Dover, Guildford, and Plymouth. So I'm assuming like part of the heritage there could be a lot of British heritage, a lot of, what have you got there? I know you're just under Massachusetts. Massachusetts. I love saying that.
Massachusetts. I just call it Mass because I butcher it all the time. I get picked on about it, so I just call it Mass. But Mass has got a lot of history too. I mean, all the New England states up here is just amazing. I haven't really dug into it, but it was Revolutionary War and all that. There's all kinds of stuff around here. I mean, and these houses up here, 1700s, 1600s. The graves are in 1716. I'm like, down south, it was 1800s. That's all you really saw, And up here, it's just like, it's so crazy, especially with the rock, the stacking the stones. All the New Englanders, they stack the stones up here, just a tradition for like borderlines and all that. You could be riding down the road and look in the woods, and it'd just be just like, I guess, just markers and long stone walls and stuff that's been there for years, and it used to be our old homestead. So,
David, if you get that excited about that all that business, you would be peeing your pants if you come over to the UK and saw what we had to offer.
I want to, believe me, I got my passport. I want to.
Yeah, you and old what's his name should come over, old Ginger Nuts, and come over and do a UK tour. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
Been planning on doing it. We were we talked about doing it this year, but all the other stuff going on, it's just like, there's no way. He's booked, I'm booked. Yeah. And then, Christina with Get Haunted Network, which is amazing. Rob, amazing people, man. They hold events, awesome events at haunted locations, and very decent price. You go out and be a paranormal investigator and get your paranormal fix. We get haunted team. So, but you can check them out too as well.
Oh yeah, I'll have a stalk later. Have you I see that you're near Rhode Island as well. Not I wouldn't say near, but it's there. Have you been to the Conjuring House? Have you been to the Hinsdale House?
I haven't been to
Salem.
No, I haven't been to Hinsdale. I really want to go out there. I've been meaning to get a hold of Daniel and see what the price is and all that stuff. I'd love to check that place out. Salem. I love Salem. I call it Salem. I love Salem. I'm there once a month at least. Got some friends down there. They got haunted location downtown. It's actually called Masson Vampire, and it's who wouldn't want to go to a witch vampire shop. Basically, I mean, the place is amazing, and the owner of that place, she also owns Vamp Things. There's a lot of cool vampire stuff right across the street, basically a couple of blocks away. But Salem's awesome. Has a lot of history to it. Every time I go there, man, I see something different every
Wow.
now. Real Conjuring House, yeah. Investigated that. It was a couple of years ago. It was Storm. Stormy Daniels. Stormy
I've
is
heard of him. Yeah.
no her.
Her. I've
All right,
heard of
Stormy Daniels Trump thing, ex porn star President Trump. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, Stormy got out of that a while back, and she got into the paranormal field. She's always had gifts and stuff like that. She's always been interested into it, and she got into the paranormal field. I think it was about a year and a half, and got a hold to me, and we got together. And she was like, "Hey, I want to film this reality show, spooky based paranormal show." I was like, "Oh, cool, awesome, I'm game. Let's go, Storm." So we did a road trip. Well, she invited me on the road trip. Basically a tour to all these locations in the New England states. This is before I even moved up here. And one of the places was the Real Conjuring House. So as soon as we got there, definitely a heavy feeling. We were like, dude, this place is going to be insane. So skipping ahead to a couple of things that happened that night. I can't really say that much because, for the show and all that. But there was one incident. Stormy has a haunted doll named Susan. It's actually an Ed and Lorraine Warren doll. Oh. And she left Susan in the vehicle in the back seat with the seatbelt on. She didn't want to take it into the house. Perfect. Yep, that sounds great. Protect the doll. Okay. Well, me and Justin is also, him and Stormy's the one that do the spooky based paranormal. Me and Justin and Blade, actually Stormy's new husband. Congratulations, Storm and Blade. They got married. We were down in the basement. I looked at Justin. I was like, Justin, I'm not feeling right, man. We ought to go up there and check on the girls. He was like, yeah, I'm feeling the same thing. So we start walking up the steps. We get to the top of the steps. The car alarm starts going off. I hear the girls scream. They go running toward the front door. We run behind them, open up the door. The door of the vehicle, back door, is wide open, seatbelt undone, Susan laying on the ground.
No way.
Nobody else there.
Oh my gosh.
So we calmed down after that. Did a couple of investigations. I'm not going to really, I saw 3 half body apparitions that night in the same area. It was like a residual. It was like back and forth like a broken record. It was crazy. Then we went to the basement again. Storm did the sensory deprivation technique. And there's a well there. There was a board on top of it. I moved the board off the well. There's a REM pod sitting beside it. Storm's a good distance away from it. After she gets through with the sensory deprivation, she pulls the blindfold off. We got it all on video. She stands up, and I'm standing on the other side of the well. Well, next thing you know, that REM pod just starts going off. Red line, just screaming at us. And Stormy's like, something's coming up the well. Something's coming up the well.
Oh!
Just the reaction, I kicked the board back on top of the well. REM pod stops.
Wow. Because I saw someone, I was watching Paraflix, and I was watching about the Conjuring House, and someone actually got in the well. Is that what? That's the one right?
People do it. I wouldn't have done it because there's water that much in there. I wasn't gonna get it.
Oh no! You imagine a hand coming up and getting you. Oh, you need to change your drawers, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow, I'm so jealous. That's a brilliant, what an experience. Amazing. Because you always wonder about these places, don't you? We had Andrea Parron on there, and she was telling us all sorts of stories about it. And it does, I mean, it's a dream come true, isn't it? I think it's been sold now again, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's up under new ownership, and she's holding events and stuff there too. I think with Ghost Hunts USA, I believe, or something like that. But they've been holding events there, so it's pretty cool. The place is amazing, it really is. But I will say, I probably won't go back. Fuck that place. I probably won't go back. There was some shit there I haven't seen in 22 years before. I mean, but it's that place is like Grand Central Station. I mean, spirits in and out, in and out, in and out. So if you want to get scared and you want to get some evidence, that's a damn good place to go.
Can you feel it when you're in there, when you walk in the door?
Oh yeah,
straight
absolutely.
Away.
Yep.
What about the Amityville house?
Nope, I haven't been there before.
No.
Now I haven't been there. I think that's the. I don't even think they let people in there. I think somebody sold it and they changed the windows and all that stuff on it.
Oh,
But
Jenny, sorry, just a question Jenny pulled up earlier. At the Glam House in Carmel, Maine. I spoke to Kent Brewis the other day. Well, not the other day, a couple of weeks ago, should I say? And it's so interesting. He has stuff go down. Have you been there?
I've never heard of it. Jen, thank you for bringing that up. I've never heard
sent
of
you
it.
the link. Oh,
Yeah,
shadow dude sits
Yeah,
on the end of his bed, scares the pants off him. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh shit. That's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, I'll send you it. It's on. He's got a YouTube channel, and he does let investigators in as well. I don't know how far Carmel, Maine is from you. Yeah,
It's not that far. It's probably maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. I can get to Portland, Maine in 2.
I would love to see that video then. If you get in touch with Ken, oh my days, I would love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Send me the link. I'd like to check it out.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, another cool location here is in Massachusetts is the USS Salem. That place is intense. I mean, it's a battleship. It's a freaking battleship. And actually, I've got a video out there on TikTok. You'll be able to see it. Also, Chris does too. It's Chris Sanders Paranormal Explorer.
Yeah.
You can look at some of the stuff. Basically, a lot of these places we've been to at the same time. But USS Salem is amazing. Don, he caretaker of it, runs it. I mean, they do events there all the time. That place is so intense. I actually had a shadow figure. I didn't see it, but we were in the mess hall area, and Chris was seeing a shadow person over on the left-hand side of me, and I saw it too. And I was like, "Hey, look, you can come close to us. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to hear your stories. I can see you right now. Come over and get closer." And Adam, another guy that was with us, he was standing in front of me. I really couldn't see him because it was basically pitch black, and there was a manhole right behind me. Adam jumps up and he grabs him by my shirt and pulls me toward him. I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And he was like, "There was a shadow that manifested from that manhole behind you, and I thought it was going to grab you and pull you down there."
Jeez.
Okay. So we got some cool stuff there too, some cool evidence. That place is definitely worth going to.
I know I pick your brain about locations this evening, but what about prison cells and other asylums? What else have you done? Anything like that?
Let's see, Cume Memorial Hospital. It's not there anymore. Thank God they tore it down. That place was evil. I was caretaker of it. I have a story about that, but it'll take forever. If you want to check out the story, it's on Discovery Plus. It's Haunted Hospital Season 2, Episode 13. Called Obsession. That place right there was dark. It was so freaking dark, man. It almost ruined my life. Marriage and all that stuff. Yeah. You just have to see the full story. That's one of my attachments that really fucked me up. I mean, big time. And it was hard to come back from it. Lost weight, almost committed suicide. It was intense. That place was also featured. Actually, I just put it up too. It was no, I didn't put that one up, but you can Google Cume Memorial Hospital, KUHN Memorial Hospital, Vicksburg, Mississippi, UHN. And the first thing it's going to come up is going to say ghost hunters find dead body at abandoned asylum. It's going to be a lot of those. I mean, you can read the stories about that. That was a tragic event. It was horrible. But you'll see other stuff about the investigations we've done there. Filmed with Zach and them Ghost Adventures on a couple of episodes during that time period. Spirits Under Siege, the Vicksburg edition. And we were there at Kuhn Hospital and ran across that non-human entity that we call Michael. Jenny! That's my girl. She actually has a show on our network too, matter of fact. But yeah, that's that place was insane. It definitely was. It was a lot of history. It was pre-Civil War, smallpox outbreak, yellow fever. It was the Sisters of Mercy, Catholic nuns. They ran it and took care of it. But that was definitely a crazy location. You were talking about prisons, Mansfield State Reformatory in Ohio. That place was insane.
Wow.
Investigated that years ago, and we were down in solitary confinement. We let the other teams go. And me and two other people of another founding team, they're the one that put this little event on. We were tired. We were like, yeah, we're just going to sit back and watch the DVR camera and Next thing you know, Tammy was like, "Oh my God, there's somebody at the end of solitary confinement." I was like, "Okay, let's go." We grab equipment, we go running down there. We get down there, nothing. So we're walking around. Tammy just not really provoking, but she was like, "Hey, look, I'm a female. I know you haven't seen a female while. Come here and talk to me. Blah blah blah. This that." Next thing you know, she screams in pain. She's holding her stomach. She was like, "Oh my, David, there's something grabbing my stomach. It's like something, just basically just holding me real tight." And I joked with her. I was like, "Yeah, it's probably gas." No, it really is something. And sitting there for a second. Next thing you know, she hits her knees. She's in pain.
Jeez.
Her husband's sitting here screaming, "Stop, leave her alone," this and that. And next thing you know, the mel meter, which it was weird coincidence, went to 66.6 degrees, which was very weird. But anyway, I went over there and I tried to get her up. I couldn't get her up. Finally get her up. Fireman carry her out of there. Take her to the break room. We lifted up her pants leg where I said it was hurting and burning. She had fingerprint marks on her thighs.
Jeez.
She wasn't touching her thighs. She was holding her stomach the whole time. And I know I didn't. So, and you can hear cell doors slam there, and the cell doors haven't moved. It's like a residual sound. So
there's always that fear about being attacked or attachments and things like that. And I was going to ask you about attachments. Is that the only attachment that you have? Did you feel a presence did you bring it home with you?
With that one right there, that was totally a dark, non-human entity. I didn't know what was happening. I had no idea. My friends, family, they saw it. I didn't see it. It just engulfed me. That's why it was an obsession with that hospital, because I was caretaker of it. I was over it, And now the other one I have, it's one of my stories. I only had two. This one right here, you can find on Paranormal 911, season 1, episode 6, called The Chapel. And that was whenever I was a volunteer firefighter in Vicksburg, Mississippi. I ended up going to a wreck scene because it was right down the road. I got there and it was a younger girl. She was around 20, 21, something like that. And she didn't make it. I mean, she veered off and hit a tree. Got out, called it in. I'm not going to get in detail, but I called it in, this and that, and the other, first responders came. I left, and on the way back to the house, it felt like somebody was in the back seat, somebody watching me, staring at me. So I blew it off and get back to my house, go in there, take a shower. It's like 3:00 in the morning, and I hear knocking on my bathroom door. I'm like, Madison, that was my daughter. She was like probably 12 at the time. Get out the shower, open it up. She's not there. I go to the back room. She's fast asleep. Okay. Blew it off. A couple of weeks later, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I look at the end of my bed, and there was this ghostly figure, long black hair, no face, pale, looking at me. Whoa. I'm like, nope, not in my house. Nope. I pulled the covers up on my head, and I just stayed there.
Oh, my Lord.
And, I'd never seen really anything like that before. And I was like, shit, I must have been dreaming. It kept on happening. I woke up one time and she was like, her face was like right here, right beside me. Stuff came up missing, stuff getting pushed around, broken. The closet, my daughter hated her closet because that's where she said she hid. And my daughter had no idea about this. No idea. Because I didn't want to scare her. But she was seeing the same thing I was. Well, I had a couple of my friends come over, and I was like, dude, we got to do something. So I tried. I just said, hey, look, you got to come back to where you came from. You got to follow me back. I don't care if you're here or not, but you're scaring my daughter. Just come back where you follow me. I didn't know if it worked. So we went out to the wreck scene that night. And as soon as we got there, I looked across the street. There was an old cemetery right across from the wreck scene. Just so happened that was one of the cemeteries I take newbies to investigate to see if they actually are into it or they just want to be weekend warrior type thing. So we go up there, and there's this big pine tree where we leave the equipment. We don't want to get lost. We know what the pine tree is. So we pass this pine tree and go to the back plot. It's like a family plot, and I'm sitting here asking questions, this and that. And I was like, look, you can stay here. Please don't follow me home. You're welcome. Welcome to stay at my place, but you can't scare us and all that whole spiel. K2 meters just start redlining, both of them at the same time. I'm like, okay, we're in the middle of nowhere, no power lines, no electricity, no cell phones. They're going off. Next thing you know, the investigator beside me, that came with me, she tugging on my shirt. She was like, David, look, 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 look. I'm like, what? I look, the pine tree was the creepiest shit I've ever seen. The girl was there, but she was playing peekaboo behind the tree. I had a detective, Vicksburg police detective, that was with me too, and he had his camera and he was snapping photos. He got the top part of her head going back. Next thing you know, he pulls his gun out. I'm like, dude, what are you gonna do? Shoot a ghost?
No.
I'm like, just calm down. She's okay. All right. They start calming down, and I was like, the messed up thing is, we got to walk right past that tree whenever we leave. They're like, no. I was like, look, it's okay. She's not gonna harm us. We walked past. She wasn't there. Get in the vehicle. We leave. End up finding out that she was going to that cemetery to see her father. Her father is buried there. And that's where she's at now. Yep, she's at that cemetery. I mean, I really felt sorry for her, but she was it was scaring my daughter. Me, I could have dealt with it, but.
Yeah. I mean, that's the worry, isn't it? Being a paranormal investigator, whether you're going to bring something home and whether or not you bring something dark home as well. I mean, I always tell it after every investigation, we always tell our guests as well that tell anything here that is not alive to stay is not welcome in our home. And that usually does a trick. But you can go around your house, can't you, with some sage and say, get the hell out of my house. It's all about intent at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is with the sage, a lot of people's like, yeah, I'll just sage my house. No, the sage is to get rid of negativity. And it depends on how you do it. You got to open up all your windows, this and that. I mean, it's for negativity. It's not to actually get rid of spirits. No. That's why a lot of people, do it wrong. If you want to do something like that and cleanse your home to let everybody know, hey, look, do your research, find somebody that's been doing it for a while, get them to come in there, do it where it's done right, where it'll calm it down for a little bit. Sometimes it might spike back up, but don't acknowledge them. I mean, don't acknowledge the spirits if you don't want them to be there. That works a lot of times.
There's so many people say different ways of doing it as well, isn't it? They say that you've got to do it. You've got to read out if it's your home, windows closed, windows open. The Indians use sage. So that's why they use a certain sage, white sage. It's like, Jesus, how much more do I need to know?
Well, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Whatever. I mean, put it this way. I guess it would be whatever works for you.
Yeah.
There's different kind of religions. That's why I follow all kinds of religions: voodoo, hoodoo, Catholic, Pentecostal, whatever, a Wiccan. I follow all that. And you never know what situation you're going to walk into that religion is going to come in handy.
Yeah. Or just say, get the fuck out of my house.
That is true. That's another way to do it.
Oh dear. So what kind of paranormal activity the history in New Hampton, what do you think can inspire paranormal activity? It would be the wars there, wasn't it? It'll be the first level, a bit of witch about maybe.
Yeah, it's so much stuff up here that can inspire it. I mean,
crime.
All these locations I've been to, a lot of them have different history, but some of them have the same history. It's basically about the same thing. Whatever happened, well, I'll put it this way, whatever happened in years ago or now even present today, you still have a haunted house if somebody passed away 2 days ago. It's not always the old. It could be in the 90s, the 2000s. But I would say it depends on what kind of traumatic event happened there. That's probably where you're going to have some of the activity. It's either going to be a residual or it's probably going to be just somebody that don't want to let go and they have unfinished business and they want to stay there. They want to see their family or, there's so many theories out there and we won't know until we pass away and meet the good Lord. And we probably won't want to know then. We probably won't want to know. So.
Especially like a crime investigation where someone's been hacked up. For instance, like the Lizzie Borden house. Have you ever been there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Was it active?
We really didn't get anything. I mean, but from what I hear with Lizzie Borden, it's hit and miss, which any location is. Any location, is hit and miss. Well, beside the Shanley Hotel, it never disappoints. Oh my God. It never does. That's a great location to go to as well.
Is it? Whereabouts is that?
Oh, it's in New York. I couldn't even tell you exactly where, but it's in upstate New York. the Shanley Hotel.
Is it residual? Sorry, I can't say that. Is it residual energy, or is it like intelligent? Is it a bit of both?
It's intelligent. We got rushed at. Yeah. We were out there. We didn't invest. Me and Chris and it was Mandy and Katie from Totally Weird and Twisted podcast. They were also on our network. And April, we were out there. We were investigating, and one of the pieces of equipment went off in the next room, and me and Mandy went in there. We got it on video. It's on my TikTok, man. It's freaking insane. We go in that room, and we're facing the equipment. Behind us is a middle chair in this little room. Mandy's recording, and we're sitting here trying to figure out why the equipment went off. And the next thing you know, we hear something slide up against the wall. I'm thinking later on, I'm like, that was that metal chair folded up against the wall. That's what it sounded like. It slid. And we're like, what the fuck was that? And turn around, she's videoing. We're sitting here looking, and I was like, can you do that again? As soon as I said, can you do that again? Boom, 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 something rushed us.
Wow.
It was like on all fours. You could hear it. It's loud. You can hear the thumps coming toward us. It was coming towards us. I jumped in front of Mandy, and she's still recording over the top. You can see my bald head. And she was like, oh my God, oh my God. I was like, yeah, something just rushed us, and it just stopped. As soon as I jumped in front of her, it stopped. I don't know, man, but the Shanley, that was a crazy experience. It really fucked her up too. She was like, oh, it was intense. That was like one of her biggest moments she ever had, of something happening like that. So I don't know.
It's like being on a roller coaster ride, isn't it? It's intense kind of adrenaline rush. I mean,
yeah.
What's the most terrifying experience, would you say, you've had?
It was probably the Kuhn Hospital whenever I got the attachment. Yeah. I'm sitting here standing on top of a freaking roof looking down at my truck, and I'm hearing voices, not really voices, but something in my head just say, one more step, end it all, end the pain.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty rough. We're going through a divorce and all that, all because I was so obsessed with that hospital. And I really do think that entity that was there wanted another spirit to be there, be a part of the hospital, probably because maybe tired of the old ones. And
maybe you were vulnerable as well, going through a divorce. They like to attack people.
I was at my downward spiral. My lowest, I was weak, and I let it come in and didn't even realize it, Yeah. And it was after that I was done with that place. Actually, the roof caved in on us, almost killed us. Concrete roof caved in. Yeah, 3 of us there. So that's why I was like, I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I got an EVP right before that happened of a little girl laughing. So it's like I'm putting it all together. Like, yeah, they wanted more spirits. They wanted more souls there, I guess, And let's see, what else was it? Oh yeah, and after that, that's whenever that horrible incident happened. The murder of the old lady at the hospital, and I mean, it was a sad event. I mean, she was 67 years old. She didn't deserve. Nobody deserves that. She didn't deserve it. I mean, it was insane. But I tell you what, if you do read the articles and all that, let you know the guy that killed her, he got what was coming to him.
Good.
He ended up breaking out of jail about 3 weeks to a month later. Breaking out of jail, and Vicksburg was on lockdown. They couldn't find him. He was ended up finding out he was hiding in one of the downtown swamps. He ended up going one morning around 6 a.m. I guess he needed shower, food, or whatever. He ended up going to this couple's house. They had a newborn baby.
Oh, no.
And he held the guy hostage, took him inside, tied both of them up. The baby was still in the crib. He was in the bathroom. He was taking a shower, washing himself off. The wife, the woman, the mother, she got loose. Went to the bedroom, got the 44 Magnum.
Go on, girl.
Yep. Dude, I'm telling you. It was awesome. I mean, he deserved it. He was evil. He would have killed them, and he would have killed that baby too. He was a horrible person.
You don't mess with mummy.
Exactly, no. Man. She got out. She went in there. Bam! Shot him.
Go.
The husband. The husband got the gun, went in there, and unloaded the full clip in his chest.
Yeah. Yeah, he got what he deserved.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was an evil person. And I came right before that murder happened, right before I left that hospital. I came face to face with him. I just put no trespassing signs out. His name was Raphael McLeod. put no trespassing signs out, and it was almost dusk, whatever. And I was up there with the paranormal team. We were just talking right in the middle of the hospital. Next thing you know, I see an SUV pull up in front. I was like, man, I just put no trespassing signs out. What the hell? He comes jumping out of one of the windows on the bottom floor. This place is like Waverly. It has no windows in it. And he walks up. He was like, you got a cigarette? I was like, man, I don't smoke. You see there's no trespassing signs up there. And then I stopped myself because I looked in his eyes and they were glassed over. I could tell he was on something. And he sit here and he said, okay. And he just walked in the second part of the building. And I was like, hey, be careful, man, with them, the ghost here. I mean, be careful. It's definitely haunted. He just looked at me, laughed, and left. What he was doing, he was casing the damn place out probably as a dumping ground. Jeez. Which eventually, unfortunately, happened. But yeah, that son of a bitch got what he deserved.
Jeez.
Evil person. Evil.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. I just saw what Jen said. Jen, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it happens. You never know in the field. You never know what you're going to walk into. That's why a lot of people. Yeah, you got to stay protected. Don't be weekend warriors and go out there and that's probably how we got in the field. We did it.
Don't go out alone either. Especially, I know it sounds awful, but women, if we go on investigations, we always take a few of the lads with us. We run investigations, so there's always a big group of us, but sometimes we do go out and about and just do like a bit of filming and things like that. But yeah, you got to think of your safety. Like my old nan used to say, you got to be more afraid of the living than you are the dead, because they say the dead can't hurt you, but some of them do. Yeah. Jeez.
I am scared of the living more than I am the dead. I agree with him 100%. Wise words.
Have you ever experienced any proper like poltergeist in your face poltergeist activity? Seen any chairs moved or something thrown at you?
I've seen something cool. Me and my ex-wife, we went to a hotel room just to get away. It was in downtown on the Mississippi River in Vicksburg. Wasn't thinking anything paranormal. Jacuzzi tub, she's in there, and I'll go in. I'm about to go get in there, and they're in the bathroom. There's like a little coffee pot maker, little bit coffee pot makers they have in the hotels. And dude, I just happened to look over, and she looked over, and the plastic filter holder, it just slid out and hit the ground. I'm like, what? I know that just didn't happen. So I mean, that's really the only thing that I've seen besides is some of the haunted objects that I collect. I've seen a couple of them move, but not straight on. I've caught them either on video or, something like that, or woke up the next day and noticed it in a different position. But other than that, I don't really think of seeing like all hell break loose, Susan being thrown out of the back, but
yeah, that's crazy.
Not any poltergeist.
I find that also when you go to locations, there's a place called Margam Castle, which is great. It's so beautiful in Wales that we go to. But then some of these older houses that have all the original fixtures and fittings and sort of like furniture, it does harbor paranormal energy, doesn't it?
Yep. Think about this. I'm sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
No, you carry on. I'm asking you a question.
All right. For 30 years now, you go to work, you come home, you sit in your same recliner, you turn on the TV. The same routine for 30 years. Whenever you pass away, how come your energy? Alex, what's going on, brother? That's my boy, Alex Cooper. Al. Alex. Yep. Me and him actually used to have a podcast way back in the day, Paranormal Addiction Radio. But yeah, for 30 years, you do the same thing over. Why couldn't your energy still be left over on that object? I mean,
yeah. Well, especially if you really fancied it as well, you really liked it, and you're drawn to it like an old teddy, or like I got a money box that eats the pennies, and I bought it with my dad. And I'm thinking, you know what? I probably, if I passed over, I'd still want to look at that. Yeah. These things really do.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Now I will say with him, it's going to be his van. He is so attached to that. I get it though. He's put a lot of work into it over the years. It's a beautiful van. It really is.
Let's talk Mississippi, shall we? Oh, I've got an infatuation in place. I mean, it's got so much history, hasn't it? I'm going to throw a few things out there. The Witch of Yazoo. Do you know anything about that? Yeah, good old Google. Can you tell us a bit about?
Yeah, Satasha. Well, actually, it's in. It's in. I went blank. I used to go there all the time. But anyway, the Witchy Yazoo. It's pretty interesting. The Witchy Yazoo. The story is that it was back in, I think, the 1800s. I'm going to get this wrong because I haven't been out there in so long, but I think it was 1800s, whatever. They ended up, there was this woman and she lived by the river, and it's in Greenville, Mississippi. Is that right? Am I? Oh.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that place. I go there all the time. David, what is wrong with you today? But she lived on the river, and the people of the town, I guess they didn't understand her because, I mean, she was older, she lived by herself, but they just couldn't explain it. Just like a lot of the witches and witch trials and all that, people were scared of it, and they couldn't explain why people did this. They thought it wasn't right, you know? So, but she lived out there, and people called her a witch, and ended up the sheriff ended up going out there to her house. She wasn't there, and then she ended up running from the sheriff. She fell in some quicksand. Whenever she was drowning, she was on the way down. She yelled back. She was like, "Oh, whenever I come back, I want to burn this whole town down." Actually, the story is on most terrifying places in America, haunted road trips. I did some reenacting for that, for the Witchy Yazoo. It's a real good story. You can look it up. Willie Morrison is the one that wrote the book about it. But anyway, I think 100 years went by, something like that. And next thing you know, on her death date, the whole freaking town burnt down.
No way.
They went to the grave where they had chains around her grave, and the chains were broke.
No. So
that is the story of the Witchy Yazoo.
Oh, no, I would say it was awesome. You know, it's a terrible thing burning a place down, but you know, wow, what?
Burnt down the whole town. The whole town.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yazoo City Burning. Look that up. Yazoo. I think there's also a movie about it too. Something I don't know, but they redirected it around. It was the burning of Yazoo, but they redirected around slavery and all that. It's a real good movie.
Oh yeah, I'll have a look at that. Santana Bridge? Santra Bridge? Didn't ring any bells? Am I saying it right?
Is it Satartia?
So that's it, Satartia Bridge.
Oh, Satartia. Yeah, that's the Gates of Hell.
Oh.
It would be, I guess it would be Satartia, Mississippi. That would be the Gates of Hell, maybe. The story is, anyway, I've been out there and investigated. That's just like right down the road from the Witchy Yazoo. And it's like a little bitty town. Well, went out there, and a lot of people were like, yeah, they see or really see true orbs, light anomalies. There's a couple of hanging trees out there, and the story is behind it is that over 100 of Indians ended up jumping to the death in the Yazoo City. Let's see what just.
Do you still investigate and search Bigfoot?
Hell, I'm not going to talk about the Bigfoot right now. That's for another show. It's a long story, but yeah, we did get some cool stuff about the Bigfoot thing. It was pretty interesting. I'm not really into it, but
why Alex is going at it, we might as well just put this one up. David loves chickens. You know, I know it's legal in Holland. What he might be implying, but I don't think it's legal in.
Yeah, that's what he's implying. That's what he's implying. Yeah, he has some videos out there about that. You can go to his YouTube page as well. I think it's called Rainbow. I think it's Rainbow Owl, if I'm not mistaken, on YouTube, Alex. Yeah. But the story is, the Indians jumped to the death in the Yazoo City River because the Union soldiers were going to take over the property, their land, and they didn't want to give them the land, so they just committed suicide. So now all these light anomalies and the supposedly there's a whirlpool out there, and it has green lights that come up on in the water that you can see. I did hear while we were out there, we filmed an episode on it. I did hear a woman scream, and this is in the middle of nowhere, cornfields and shit everywhere. So it's pretty interesting. I had one of my friends, Walt Grayson, went out there, and he's a news reporter. He went out there and did a story on it, and it fried his $15,000 camera.
Wow.
Yeah, just fried it. And he went out there again. Another one got fried. He was like, I'm not going back to that place. It's killing all my stuff. So.
Geez, yeah, it must just absorb all the energy. While we're on the bridges, is it Mississippi Bridge, like a crybaby bridge? Story of a woman.
I haven't been to Crybaby Bridge, but yeah, there's a couple of Crybaby Bridges out there. I haven't been to that. Stuckey's Bridge is pretty cool. That was Stuckey's Bridge. That was on Most Terrifying Places in America too, as well. One of my episodes, and we talk about it. And I actually got attacked and pushed down on the bridge.
Jeez. So where are these on? These episodes are on just in case.
Discovery Plus. Right. Yeah, Discovery Plus. You can look up. I guess go Discovery Plus Stuckey's Bridge. I guess.
Okay.
And look that up. It's I couldn't even tell you the episodes. I forget half of them. Right. That place was pretty cool. It's actually actual footage of me getting pushed down. I felt like I was going to get like pushed over the bridge. But old man Stuckey, he was a part of the Dalton gang. The Dalton gang, they were not. Yes, the Dalton. I think it is the Dalton gang. They were real bad in Mississippi. I mean, they would kill people, rape, murder. I mean, just they were horrible. Old man Stuckey was so. No, I haven't been to Emily's Bridge. I've never heard of that. I'm going to look it up though. Old man Stuckey was so bad that the Dalton gang, or is it the Hart brothers? The Hart brothers. That's what it is. The Hart brothers. They kicked him out of their gang. He was so bad. No. He got property he actually squatted and had a house on the Chunky River right there at Stuckey Bridge. And passersby, he would come out and ask them to come in. Hey, look, I'll take care of you, food, that water. And the people that would, he'd let them go. But the people that wouldn't, he didn't like that. So we ended up murdering all these people, travelers, and buried them on the banks of the Chunky River right up under Stuckey's Bridge. And till this day, old man Stuckey, you can still hear him up under there. You can hear loud splashes of water, like bodies being dropped in there and all that. I mean, I've heard it before too. So,
that's some proper horror film stuff, isn't it? It's like Jason kind of thing. Oh, yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool location though, but I wouldn't go out there alone.
No, sorry, I know I'm getting you talking, aren't I? But Mount Helen Rolling Fork, what's that all about?
Mount Helina is Mount Helena was a cool location. I investigated it a couple of times. Really never got that much evidence. But the place is built on an Indian mound. I mean, huge white house, gorgeous white, in the middle of a freaking cornfield. That's closest to Tarsha in that area too. And it's built on an Indian mound. I mean, there's got to be some stuff going on there. I never really got that much evidence, but it's because it was paid events there too, so wasn't really able to dig deep into it. But.
So do you do that? You do like you take guests out with you and do events and things like that?
Oh yeah, I've been doing that for like 22 years. Come out, be a paranormal investigator for the night, and but I like doing that because it gets like the weekend warriors, like young people, teenagers, get to come in and actually see how it's actually a real paranormal investigation is conducted. Yeah. Instead of going out there to these places and just being weekend warriors, they know they're safe in these locations. And plus any kind of advice, this and that, I get to, tell them just my opinion on it.
Yeah.
And the good thing is I have other investigators and they can tell their opinion and go from there. So I actually got one I'm working on eventually. I might do it next year at the Black Swan Inn in Tilton, New Hampshire. Beautiful location. I love Black Swan Inn. It's a great bed and breakfast.
Oh, wow. I mean, they watch these TV shows, don't they? And they all want to do it. I mean, that's what we're about. We run investigations as well. And at least you're guiding them and doing it respectfully as well and showing them how to use the equipment properly and things like that. Because it's not good going in blind. It's nice to have someone there, especially it can be scary. Yeah, 100% really scary.
Yeah, definitely dangerous. And, the thing is, a lot of them, they show up with the ghost radar and the apps on the phone. Like, no, all that is programmed in there. Believe me, I program one myself. Don't trust the apps. Don't do it. And, even with the spirit box, a lot of people love the spirit box. The thing is, with the spirit box, originally it was designed for the white noise. Don't listen to what's coming out of the box. Listen to what's on the outside of the box. That's where you get your EVPs and Class A's. But yet, I will say, I have seen a couple of times where it was like something manipulated in the box and the voice came out. It was totally freaking different.
Wow.
So you never know. I mean, but the apps wise, I mean, I would definitely go away from that. 100%. That's just my opinion, though. Everybody has different styles and stuff like that.
Alex has bigged you up nicely. Passionate.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank
you. He does like you, even though he said your chicken story.
You ought to see his videos that he made fun of me. He even dressed up like me, put a ball cap on, like he was bald and all that. He was like, I'm David Childers, y'all.
It's the highest form of flattery when they copy you.
No,
he must really like you.
Yeah, that's my boy. I've known Alex, probably about 10 years now.
Oh, what's your favorite? What's your favorite bit of equipment? Are you into all this modern stuff? Do you like a bit of Victorian methods? What are you into?
Me. I like me and voice recorder and camera. I mean, I'll take like a K2 meter. I'll take that. But other than that, I'm old school. I like that because all the new stuff out there. I like the SLS. I have one. Spent $600 on it. Use it twice. It just maps out all this stuff around and the stick figures and all that. I mean,
you get it on your phone now.
Like I said, you never know. It could work. I'm sure people have had experiences with it. I like the old school stuff. I like the EVPs. I like to see and hear it instead of using the equipment and say, oh, yeah, that's paranormal. But it could be something else. Even the K2 meter Wi-Fi sets it off. I mean, you could sit here in one area and it just go off automatically and not come back on again. You're like, why did that happen? But yet the Wi-Fi will set it off. So,
do you put trigger objects down, like drawing around a crucifix or like cat balls or glowing balls and things like that?
I haven't used the cat balls, but I do like that idea. I've seen a lot of investigators use it. I love that idea. Yeah, I love that idea.
Get them off eBay, and it's a little tap. The lights light up, or the glowing ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's cool. And here's another one. My friend Mike told me about. I love this technique. I use it every time. The cell phone technique. Have you ever heard that?
No.
Okay. Basically, what you do, you get two cell phones. Okay. I put one finger up. Two cell phones, and all right, you go into say a bed and breakfast or wherever you're investigating. Put one cell phone down. Use the other cell phone. Call that cell phone. Put it on speaker. Get your voice recorder. Set it beside that cell phone. Have that other cell phone on speaker. Walk out of the building. Stay out of the building. Stay away from anything, whether voice recorder, anything. Basically, you're not going to contaminate it. So it's just a cell phone and the voice recorder in there. You sit here and ask questions. The other phone's on speaker. They can hear your voice, and so is the voice recorder. And if something comes back, you can also hear it on the other phone that's on speaker. It's no contamination.
No. That sounds really good.
And the cool thing is we've done it and we've heard a disembodied voice come back on that other cell phone. So, and we actually got it on the voice recorder on the inside where that cell phone was on speaker.
Do you know what? I wonder if you could do the same thing with the baby monitors. You can get plug-in baby monitors, can't you? And plug one in one end and then another end.
That's the old school way. That's what we used to do back in the day. And then the cell phone came out. It was like, that's actually a lot better because it's a lot more sensitive. It's not staticky and all that crap.
Yeah, you're right. Question to David and the host Sarah. EVPs, what are the best, most memorable EVP you have ever caught? Well, you go first because I've got to think about this one.
Oh, come on, you're prettier than me. You go.
Oh, well, I would say we was at Don Styler's gym in, I think it's in Portsmouth. It's a very old gym. The land around it's old. It used to be like a military kind of small parks, and it dates back to about, I'd say, 16th century. The land itself, and then the gym was built on top. And there's all sorts of spirits there from all over the world, different countries and things like that. So languages come through as well. And we was in the gym, we did an EVP, and we just got this woman's voice come through as I was like, is anyone there? Yes. What's your name? Can't remember the name at the time, but it was on the EVP, and I was like, wow. She was answering the questions as we were doing the EVP. So yeah.
That is cool. That is awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine, I have a few of them, but probably the one that really tugs at my heart. We were investigating the Glam. Actually, it's called Adore the Glam House now. It used to be the old River Chicks in downtown Vicksburg. Actually, it's one of the episodes. Actually, the EVP is on one of the episodes on Ghost Adventures, Spirits Under Siege. They investigated. Whenever we filmed with them, that location, and I just put it up. Actually, I put it, I think, on Facebook and my TikTok with that on there. I just put it up yesterday. That's so funny. We were investigating it and just walking around upstairs. My friend Chris Burtz, he had his recorder going. He was talking to his daughter. And next thing you know, in the background, you hear a little girl say, "I'm still alive in here."
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I saw it. Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah. Because you slowed it down as well and you enhanced it, didn't you? Yeah. What's that say?
Yeah. That one right there tugged at my heart because there was a fire years ago before that, like during the 1800s. And sort of thinking maybe that little girl could have been up there looking out the window screaming, "I'm still alive in here," while everybody's sitting here looking up there, so
yeah,
pretty sad.
Sometimes they're still stuck in their own existence of where they were, wasn't they? Yeah. I'm gonna hit you with a few more questions. I'm still on the old Mississippi, but I am a bit obsessed. There's a guy, I don't know if you heard, it's like an urban legend, the blues legend Robert Johnson, who did a deal with the devil. Have you heard of this guy?
Yep, that's my boy.
Robert Johnson.
Oh my gosh, I love that story. It's so funny. You bring that up. I was up here in New Hampshire, and I was in Salem, and I went to one of the shops, and I just looked up on the wall, and there was a drawing, and it had Robert Johnson on there, sold his soul to the devil. I'm like, what is this doing? And the crossroads and everything. What is this doing up here in Salem? So I bought it, and Robert Johnson, he ended up leaving. Well, he wanted to be a blues player, okay? And, of course, the Mississippi Blues Trail's real big down there. Well, yep, everybody knows Robert. Yep, Jen. He ended up, people made fun of him. He was sitting here, he was trying to play. People made fun of him because he sucked at it, and he disappeared for like a year. He came back, and he just shredded it. He's like one of the biggest blues players then. And actually, a lot of rock stars and stuff learned from him, and that's like one of their idols because he was so good at the blues. The story was that all the other blues players, they were like, he sold his soul to the devil. That's why he played so good, because he was only gone a year. There's no way anybody could play like that. They couldn't play like that. And Robert Johnson, he traveled around, went all the way to Memphis. I think he went a little bit further north and went back down to Mississippi. It's a cool story. The Hounds of Hell, man. You got to listen to his music. Listen to Take Me to the Crossroads. Listen to that song. It's real eerie. And he's talking about the Hounds of Hell, how they're coming to get him, that he sold his soul, and all that stuff. So,
yep. Oh, yeah, that sounds pretty interesting.
The Crossroads are actually located in Clarksdale, which is right close to Greenville, Satarsha, all that area. The Delta is a Mississippi Blues Trail.
There's one big question I want to ask you also. Voodoo. Please tell us, you got any voodoo stories or anything about voodoo in Mississippi?
I have a real good friend that's a high voodoo priest, but I mean, that's really about it. No voodoo stories. No. I sort of stayed away. Well, I love New Orleans. I love NOLA. Used to go down there all the time. Hell, I was only 2.5 hours from it, but never really ran across anything evil, sadistic, because, like I said, I respect all religions. Yeah. I really do. I respect all of them. But there's a lot of it. There's stuff to it. It really is. I mean, especially you get, I'm not really into the Marie Laveau thing because, some of the history about that someone says she was a con artist, this and that, but there's a lot of them down there that were real into the voodoo, and do some research on it. It gets dark. It gets real dark.
Did you have a lot of black history of hauntings and slavery and things like that there?
Oh yeah. Being down there, it's a lot of them. I mean, like in Vicksburg, in the basements and stuff, there's still places where shackles were and all that stuff, which they removed them. Thank God they did. And but yeah, it's a lot of places down there. Back then at that time, it was just freaking horrible, man. It really was horrible history. But never really ran across such as, slave wise, EVPs or whatever like that. thank God. So that means they done moved on, and they don't have to sit here and look at this world anymore because they went through hell.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It might be more activity with what the hellish ordeal they had to go through, which is awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah. Well, I've got a quick question here from somebody. Oh, Louise, my good friend Louise. A question for both of you. What is your favorite place to investigate? I think I might have touched on that. I'm not sure. Did we ask that question? What's your favorite place to investigate?
Mine. Oh, Shanley Hotel, Black Swan Inn, Emery Estates. I'm going to Oliver House next weekend. That's going to be amazing. Penhurst. I'm just going down. Naming them all. Yeah, McNutt House in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Oh my gosh, that place is beautiful. Yeah, McNutt House. Governor McNutt, actually. That's everybody does that. They start laughing whenever I say it. The Real Conjuring House. But I think, the one like I said, I really feel comfortable with, close to home, would be Black Swan Inn in Tilton, New Hampshire.
Yeah. That does sound good. If you could go anywhere in the world to investigate, anywhere, where would your dream location be?
The Colosseum in Rome.
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? That'd be really good.
Lots would happen there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Do you believe in a higher being? Have you got your faith, or do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% God-fearing person.
Have you ever witnessed, so I'm just throwing them at you now, have you ever witnessed a possession or anything like really creepy? No.
I've been on 10 supposedly demonic possessions. All of them were sleep paralysis.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on mediums and psychics? Can you spot an matter? Yeah.
They're real. They are definitely, well, the reason I know that because I have personal experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we talked about this earlier.
Yeah, we did. Well, we're good friends just asked a question here. He says, Have you received any physical injuries whilst investigating? I don't mean being attacked by a ghost. For example, I tripped you up in the dark and you fell out. Oh my good Lord.
I love you, Al. I love you.
Oh, he really got me in there. He draws you in, doesn't he? Another question to you both. When we were at Antwerp, we had interaction, and I believe it was the spirit of a young girl who seemed to be confused. Answering our question, why are they there? I've asked if she was aware that she had passed, and she said no. Spirit box, some become very aggressive. Yeah, what's your opinion on that?
Me, I've never doing the old school, man. Even go back to TAPS days. I was a TAPS family member years ago, and I still followed some of those rules. I never asked, do you know how you died?
Yeah.
Or do you know why you're dead? Because they might not, and they could get upset. It could, because they're probably just in that room where they're just there.
Spiraling round and round.
So basically, I just started, hey, like even with the K2, whatever, or camera or whatever, any kind of EMF, I try to relate to them like, this toy, this tool. I don't call that what it is. They don't know what the hell that is. So it's either a toy or a tool or something like that. But yeah, I've never done that because I wouldn't want to upset them. You never know. I mean, if it's intelligent like that, just basically, hey, we're here as friends. Just want to sit here, talk to you, hear your story. That's it. Just want to have a conversation with you.
Sometimes we ask them if they want a cup of tea or a cigarette. Sometimes and they answer you back, yeah, I'll have a fag. It's interesting. They think that they're still alive, don't they? Sometimes.
Exactly. You want to relate to them, not sort of go against them, type wise. You want to stay in that time period that you think could be.
Yeah.
And go from there.
What's your thoughts on Ouija boards?
I love them.
You do them?
Ouija boards, man, just my opinion on it. I've got Ouija boards. I got a Ouija board at the house that has some dark history to it. But the Ouija board is just another tool. My opinion is just another tool. I know people argue up and down about this. Oh, you're using your energy. You're doing this. Dude, you're holding a voice recorder. You're using your energy.
Yeah.
You're asking questions. It's coming back, going through there. You're holding that device. You're doing the same thing. Dowsing rods is a conduit. It's copper. Your energy is going through there. Energy is going to be coming back through there. It's the same thing as putting your hands on that planchette and asking questions of moving around. Holding a K2 meter, same thing. I mean, you're using your body as a conduit no matter what you do. If you're holding that device, you're using your body, just like the Ouija board is.
Yeah.
I would say, I would close any investigation out same way you would want to close a Ouija board out. It's the same thing. You're physically touching it and you're using your brain, you're using your voice. So that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah. It's even with the glass and the marble or dowsing rods, you're still asking the spirit to interact with you, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're physically touching it just like you are the Ouija board.
Yeah.
And it depends on the intent with any equipment, especially the Ouija board. It depends on your intent while you're using it. I mean, don't sit here and try to summon up a demon and this and that, type thing. You see what I'm saying? It's all about intent.
Have you ever, if you could give any advice to like the public who want to go out investigating, what kind of advice would you give?
Don't be a weekend warrior. Go out there, do your research, get on the internet, try to find a credible team that is near you or somebody even on Facebook that you see that is active and you like their style. Mm-hmm. They're doing it for the right way. They're credible. Go out there and try to contact them and go from there. Even if you can go on a paid investigation. And that's what I would do. I would make sure that you're around people that know what they're doing before you go out there and you dive into it, because shit is dangerous, man. It is.
Yeah.
You
have to be respectful.
Huh?
You have to be respectful as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. Don't, and I mean, a lot of these, not even just the hauntings and the spirits, you also can go into places that are very dangerous. Mm-hmm. Fall through a floor, fall down an elevator shaft, get black mold in there. You can get it all over your lungs. Asbestos.
Yeah, asbestos. So, run into a murderer.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, definitely. And like you said, go with people. Go with people.
Definitely. You've rubbed shoulders with some paranormal celebrities as well. And you've was it to name drop a few? I'd really love to meet the Ghost Brothers and Jack Osborne, that hairy little dude. Love to meet him. I'm so jealous right now. Ashley Godwin and also oh God, what's his name? From Ghost Adventures. I flipping forgot his name.
Zach and Aaron and them.
What they like to work with, and who's your favorite?
I liked all of them. I really like the Ghost Brothers are freaking, and they're hilarious. We did it. They were holding an event down in Mobile, Alabama, and we all bought a ticket. It was at a Comic-Con actually, when we had a table out there, and went over there, started talking to them, and just hit it off. And next thing you know, we went to the event afterwards, and I went ahead and I bought a ticket. Went in there. I was just going to hang out and just investigate with them. And whatever people were, paying customers out there, ended up, it was overbooked. And they needed help. So, oh my God, Juan, you're going to kill me if I butcher your name. I guess, yeah, Juan. But he came up to me. He was like, can you help? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll lead a team. So I ended up leading a team, this and that. And it was so cool because toward the night was over with, I hear him, David, where are you? Now look over. I got a group with me and we're investigating. I look over. I was like, is he calling my name? I'm trying to do this thing. He was like, one of the girls came up. Oh, he's over there. He was like, I got to investigate with David. So he comes over there. He was like, come on, let's go. So all three of us go together with a team. We're in this one area. Nothing really was going on. And it was almost over with. And everybody was like, So I was like, I asked a question. I was like, are you the one that put the lotion on the skin? Everybody busted out laughing. They busted out laughing. They looked at me and both of them at the same time looked at each other and looked at me and went, what? I was like, dude, you never know. And they fed into it and started joking around, doing nursery rhymes and all that. So great group of people. TWC, Chris, Porter, all them. From Ghost Asylum, amazing people. Zach is a real good person. Hell, he brought me a steak dinner. All of them out there. Yeah, all of them out there I've investigated with or filmed with. Amazing. They're really amazing, and I haven't ran across a single one of them that faked evidence. Not one of them. They
That's
wouldn't
the
even
worst
take.
thing.
Yeah, they wouldn't even take my evidence. But it was at that location. I wasn't doing anything with it. Take it. You can have it. But they wanted their own, which I love it. I love it. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the thing about great TV, isn't it? It can get a bit monotonous. I mean, you're there when you're ghost hunting, you could be there for hours and hardly anything happens. To keep an upbeat vibe going, and also the fun. I mean, people love to watch people shit themselves as well. As part of one of these ladies here, Jen, she likes watching Jack and Katrina, and I do love Katrina because she's got balls of steel. You know, send her in there, she'll be there all night. She don't give a shit. She's hard as nails. And then there's Jack who just craps himself after 5 minutes and one goes crying to his mum, and it's fun to watch as well, isn't it? And don't get me wrong, I love Nick Groff. He's dead serious, and it's all different styles of investigations, but it's just keeping it on a upbeat. The spirits do love good positive energy as well, don't they? They thrive on it.
Yeah. I mean, you want to go into a place with positive energy, not negative. Definitely not. And really, I don't watch the shows that much anymore. I mean, I haven't watched them in, oh my gosh, years. Except for the ones I'm on. And the reason I do watch it, because I want to make sure I do the next one better and I didn't but yeah, I mean, it's good to watch those shows because it is knowledge. A lot of it is knowledge and there's so many different techniques out there and they're bringing to the table. And that's what I do love about it. Back in the day, we were labeled as Satan worshipers. We were dark. We were evil. And when these shows came out, it opened up doors for all of us investigators to actually be a part of locations, which it was real good, real good.
We're just learning at the end of the day, aren't we?
Yeah, we're always learning. Nobody is an expert in the field. Nobody is. I've been doing it for 22 years, and I learn new shit every day from people that's been doing it for a year, 2 years, you know, and that's what we want to do. All of us get together and learn from each other. That's how
community.
Yep, that's how we're going to sit here and get the evidence and get the holy grail of the paranormal. We work together and don't be, paradrama and what else? Territorial about your locations. I mean,
and your evidence as well. They can be really bitchy about what evidence you bring to the table. Some of these, and I think if you put it out there and you feel that it's real to you, you know. Either like it or don't like it, you know what I mean? That it's all about sharing, isn't it?
Exactly. And see, the thing is, okay, you put your evidence out there, it gets torn apart.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's why I don't get mad about the evidence I put out there. You know, I put it out. If I think it's really legit and I busted my balls or our balls or whatever, or lady bits, whoever's with me. And we bust ass to try to disprove it and try to prove it's not paranormal, because most of it out there, 80% can be explained. The other 10% might be. So, you know, if we know what's out there and we put it out there, go ahead and tear it apart. I don't care, but we know what actually happened.
If there's one thing I've learned, especially about Ed and Lorraine Warren, and Lorraine was a big Catholic, weren't you? They were both very religious in their faith and that. And I don't think it matters what kind of religion you are, what faith you are, as long as if you can't learn from something, how can you conquer it? How can you understand it? How can you believe it? That's what part of the paranormal is about, I think.
Yep. Hey, well said. Well said.
Right, last question, because I know I've had a lot of your time. And you probably want to have your tea, because what is it, about 4 o'clock over there, something like that?
I have no idea. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So, if you was having a dinner party and you could invite 5 paranormal, dead or alive, paranormal people, paranormal celebrities, who would you invite? 5, dead or alive, inspirations.
Shit. Now that right there, I've never heard that question before. You got me right. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Right. That's my mate Jo. She did that one.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah, you can use that.
That stumped me. I would say definitely Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
John Zaffis. John Zaffis, haunted collector. Okay. Let's see. Chris Sanders, my boy.
Oh, you got to have him there. He's cooking.
Gotta have Mr. Sanders. 2 more.
Yep, 2 more.
Shit.
Dead or alive?
Let's go for Harry Houdini.
Oh, yeah, he'd be great, wouldn't he? And he'd be entertaining.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a big skeptic, and he tried to prove the paranormal not real. Oh, I would have anybody that has been in the parapsychology field there, just for the hell of it, to argue with us about it.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be good.
Somebody's been in the parapsychology field for years, the ones that argued that the paranormal wasn't real, that ghosts weren't real. Yeah, I would have one of them people.
Even some of these parapsychologists, I've had a few. I mean, I've spoken to some of them. They still have that little element of doubt that they just can't explain. Yep. Yeah.
See, back in the day, though, it was a lot of doubt, you know. Yeah. So, yep.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, David. You have been a really interesting fella, and it's been great having you on our show. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah. And if you want to plug a few things, do you want to tell us about what you got going on just quickly?
Yeah, sure. Real quick.
Where to find you?
Just off the top of my head, check out Sleepy Hollow Paracon, October 22nd. Chris Sanders is putting it on. First ever Sleepy Hollow event. Tickets are still out there. Vendor tables too. I think there's some vendor tables left. Go to Sleepy Hollow Paracon on Facebook. Hit that up. Check out Get Haunted Network on Facebook. Amazing group of people. Love them. They host some amazing paranormal events. Really. Let's see. It's Haunted Network. We have a show called It's Haunted Podcast. Go to It's Haunted Network on Facebook. Check out all the shows. We have some amazing people on there. We have 5 or 6 shows on there. I don't want to leave anybody out. What else do we have? I think that's really about it. Just follow. You can go to TikTok, David Childress Paranormal Addict. YouTube, David Childress Paranormal Addictions. Got some stuff on there. Check me out on Facebook on my personal page. And that's really about it.
Thank you so much, David. And check us out if you want to go to one of our events in the UK. We are www.portaltotheparanormal.co.uk. We have the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley, and that's a sleepover. Loads of artifacts and that harbour paranormal energy and that. So that's a great place. I've been there before. We've got Oxford Castle and Prison. That's a sleepover too in September. Yeah, check out our website, guys, and join our page at Portal to the Paranormal. And thank you so much, David. You've been amazing. And guys watching, if I haven't answered any of your questions, we'll go through them later and we'll answer them in the little chat bit there. Thank you so much. You've been amazing. Ciao for now. Bye. Thanks, David.